Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our third video in this five-part video series in support of our upcoming program, How to Be Really Happy and Love Your Life, which kicks off on Friday, January 24th, and is going to be unfolding over the full year. And whereas the first video and our first 4 days together will be exploring what it is to live beyond the ego. Our next 4 days, which will be in London or online, is going to be exploring life beyond fear. Then we're back in LA in June for 4 days, exploring what it is to live beyond psychology. And I have increasingly realized how many of the things that make life difficult for us is because we think we're supposed to address them at a psychological level. Now, it's logical that we think that, not only because everyone's been telling us that since before we were born, but because it seems like if there's a problem with my psychology, with the way I think about things, with my habits of thought, which is kind of a shortcut understanding of what psychology is. It's your habitual thinking. It's your habitual ways of thinking, and that creates a psychology. And everyone's got a psychology, and they tend to be fine, which, if you're not aware of it, stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. It's fine. I'm fine. But Einstein actually said, and I say that because so many things attributed to famous people were never said by them, but as best we actually have sourced, Einstein actually did say that you can't solve a problem at the level of understanding that created it. I've heard it as the level of thinking that created it, at the level that created it. And so if you are struggling with your psychology, with the way you've learned to use your mind, with your habitual thinking and ideas about the world, you're not going to solve that from within your psychology. You have to go before psychology to your deeper nature, to your awareness, to the consciousness that you are. And consciousness, metaphorically, it goes up and down. That's why they talk about levels of consciousness. And at higher levels of consciousness, thought just doesn't look so problematic. And it's very easy to drop a habit of thought. When your consciousness goes back down and you're at lower levels, everything looks totally real to you. Nothing looks like thought except the odd opinion about what's happening. And it looks really important to fix your psychology if you want to be mentally healthy and happy. So, case in point, I was out with a friend and we were talking about what in his mind he's up against right now. And he's really frustrated with life, and he's frustrated with himself, and he's frustrated about his finances. And then he said something I've heard so many times as part of this inside out 3 principles conversation. He said, I know that I just need to change my thinking and my experience will change. But when I think about changing my thinking, it makes me even madder, and I just want to punch myself for suggesting it. And the progress in that was that he wanted to punch himself, not me. But in fairness, he didn't want to punch me because I didn't say it. And I didn't say it because changing your thinking is not the solution to psychological issues. Changing your thinking is not the solution to a feeling. There is no such thing as a solution to a feeling. The reason that myth persists is because when you see thought for what it is, a world of make-believe, the world in which we make up beliefs about life and then live as if they're true, well, our thinking changes because it doesn't make sense to keep thinking things that hurt to think. But our thinking changes as a result of our seeing, not because we decided to change it. And there's a wonderful recording where Sid Banks talks about this, and he metaphorically says, look, we're all schizophrenic. When I first worked with a diagnosed schizophrenic, I was very daunted because I'm not a medical person, and I didn't know if there were things that I was supposed to know or look out for. And then I was talking with one of my mentors, and they pointed out that schizophrenia is a condition where somebody's inner reality seems as or more real to them as most people's outer reality. And I went, oh, that's all I deal with all day long. It's like Richard Bandler, one of my early teachers in my NLP days, was asked if he ever worked with the blind and the deaf, and he looked out at the audience and went, every day. And the point of these, so sorry, let me go back. Sid Banks said, well, look, we're all schizophrenic. Our level of seeing goes up and down. And so 1 minute we're seeing really clearly, and whatever our psychology it's doing, but it doesn't grab us. It doesn't pull us by the nose. It doesn't make us chase it or fight it. And then our level drops, and suddenly everything's looking incredibly real and incredibly serious and incredibly heavy and incredibly important. And what do you mean I don't need to sort this out? And he points out that if when that happens, we can see it for what it is and just acknowledge my level dropped. I'll be back. We bounce back so quickly to whatever our kind of base level of seeing, of consciousness is. And life starts to flow again, and our psychology kind of takes care of itself because it just becomes obvious which thoughts are worth continuing to think and which ones are worth letting pass by. But if, when our level drops, we think, ooh, I better figure out why it dropped and make sure it doesn't drop again, and what's the thinking that's at this level because I need to fix it and change it so that if I do drop again, I won't get caught up in it. Well, we have to stay at that level of seeing in order to fix all that, and so it feels like we never bounce back. So while I'm not suggesting this is a technique we shall learn and practice while we're together, if you can start to see that the kind of reason psychology looks so important is because most of the time, A, we've been told it's so important, and B, we're only kind of interested in it when we're suffering from it, when our level has dropped. Then you'll start to see what it's like to live beyond psychology and to see your psychology from higher and higher levels of understanding. And when you do, your innate well-being, your natural sense of delight and joy in life becomes more and more present. Now, it's always there, but usually it's buried under a lot of psychology. And as it emerges, you get such a taste for your own mental health and your own well-being. And you so lose your taste for crappy psychological functioning that your thinking will change without you ever having to do anything to make it change. Now, as with all these videos, I'm doing them this week because we start the program on Friday. So if you'd like to join us, please go to michaelneill.org/happy, and you can learn more. And you can join us live, or you can join us online, or you can join us by recording it first until you're ready to join us for the later weeks. So we've got 2 more videos coming up where we're going to be talking about other things that we will go beyond, like success and happiness. And I look forward to sharing more with you and to hopefully seeing you online or in the room for how to be really happy and love your life. Bye-bye for now.